You think you understood everything in K-pop Demon Hunters, but actually there are many references, critics, and even hidden messages that most people overlooked, even the more attentive ones. But in today's video, I will show you everything you missed while watching this animation. So let's see if you noticed everything or missed a detail. Hey beautiful people, I'm Julie, and did you know that these animation audios were inspired by real K-pop artists? Rumi, for example, reminds a lot of Jinu from Blackpink, with her confidence and elegancy. Mira has a more mysterious vibe, which reminds a lot of Yeji from ITZY. Now Zoe is super energetic and charismatic, seems to have the same personality as Huntr from aespa, but this also happens with the boys. Jinu, who plays an important role in the story, is clearly inspired in Jungkook from BTS because of his charming and seductive smile, the same way Baby is inspired in Suga, since both have that angel expression. But when they talk or sing, they have a pretty strong voice. Now, Romance the Lovebird reminds a lot of Heijin from Stray Kids, who's also really cute and all. And Mystery is really obviously inspired in Jeongyeon from Only One Off, because of his bangs and cove all of his face. Dude, this one is spot on. And of course, we have Abby, the one from ABS who Zoe was drooling over, you know? He was inspired in Sen from ATEEZ, both because in his physique and because of his serious expression. And even though I'm not someone who is into K-pop, I'm gonna say that I do like these references, and there are more of them. In the song Takedown that happens during the Idol Awards, Rumi barely hears the beginning of the song and starts dancing automatically without realizing it. This happens because of muscular memory, a real phenomenon which is super common in the K-pop world. When an idol trains the choreography so much for restless uncountable hours, the body kinda records the movements. That means that even without realizing it, the body responds to the song on its own, and it was an instinct. This happens because the brain starts to create connections between the repetitive movements and the sound, and with time it almost becomes a reflex. Besides the pressure of having to record a lot of choreographies non-stop, Rumi lived by this routine, so it makes sense that in such a tense moment, her body reacted immediately to the song due to the muscle memory. It's such a small detail but a real thing in the K-pop community. In the animation, Rumi, Mira, and Zoe are always eating really yummy stuff like ramyeon, kimbap, which is that Korean sushi, besides other typical core cuisine. It's really fun to see them bringing these things freely, especially when we learn that in real life, Korean idols' diet routine is completely different, since it's way stricter. Most of them go through severe diets, mostly before album releases. Sometimes they need to starve to achieve the perfect body, an unachievable goal created by the Korean music industry. A case that became really famous is the head singer from the group Nine Muses One, Chaeyoung, who told in an interview that she needed to lose over 5 kilos in a really short window of time. The diet was so extreme that she spent a whole week without eating, not even water was allowed. 7 whole days without not a single drop of food or water. She even mentioned that when she finally drank a cup of water, she felt the water's weight inside of her, like if she had gained mass with that. It reminds me of Taylor Swift's case, who also had to spend some time in a strict diet just to stay fit and beautiful. Dude, this is low-key just cruel. So seeing a protagonist eat normally with no regrets, it's a subtle way to criticize the sick system of South Korea music industry. Now tell me, have you ever heard about cases like this before? Tell me in the comments, I will love to talk about it with you guys. And also tell me if you noticed this detail of the girls eating without worrying about weight, as what to criticize the industry. At the end of the animation, we see that who said sang the song Takedown were the girls from the group Twice, who you may have heard because of the song's strategy, which was really popular on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Besides that, the animation also took inspiration in a K-pop group well known by League of Legends fans, KDA. For those who don't know, KDA is a fictional girl band created inside the League of Legends universe, with amazing songs, visuals, and choreographies. And when we see their outfits, poses, and dances, we clearly notice that the inspiration came from there, which for me made things even better. Meanwhile, Saja boys are directly inspired in BTS, more specifically in the DNA phase of the band, when the boys always wore vibrant colors in their clips, even painting their hairs. A super romantic and sticky type of music, it even comes to be psychedelic. So much that in the song My Soda Pop that plays in the beginning of the movie, it's a lot like Boy With Love, both in its visuals and in the choreography, which is really flirty. And if you really pay attention to Jinu's look, he is practically identical to Jungkook in the first clip of Boy With Love. Pink shirt, white jacket, and black hair. Dude, there's no way you don't notice this reference. It's right in our faces, mostly for those who really enjoy K-pop or BTS on its own. Now, Baby was inspired in Suga from BTS because he is all quiet and serious. Not to mention that both are the rappers from the group, and even though he has the looks of someone who can't even hurt an ant, he surprises everyone with a super low voice, which doesn't suit his cute face at all. My reaction when I first heard him singing was like, what? Is that his voice? He just looks like a baby, because in reality, he is a really hot guy with a hot voice. Jeez. The animation also plays with the idea that idols always find a way to show their abs, so much that one of the members of Saja Boys, Abby, always show his ripped abs in any given opportunity. For real, every time. Even a quick look at Mira gave him made his shirt rip open. And there's that scene, that pepper game, which the camera focused really close at his abdomen, like it was a really important moment to focus on. And yes, this was made on purpose. The animation used this as a way to criticize the K-pop industry once again, which for many times sexualizes the male idols, showing their body, mostly the ripped abs, because this way they attract fans, and more fans means more money. That means the industry practically sells their bodies even though they don't like this exposure. This is a criticism disguised as a comedy, which makes people who watch the movie think about how much appearances matter in this industry. But what about you? Did you know that this was another subtle criticism, or did you think that was just a fan service? Tell me in the comments. When Jinu bumps into Rumi, a scene that is impossible to not laugh happens. She falls in slow motion with a super romantic song playing in the back, like if this was the beginning of a new romance. But the cool part about this scene is that it isn't taken seriously. It's clearly a satire to those exaggerated scenes that happen in K-dramas. A good example in that is the famous scene from True Beauty, where a car accident happens and it was supposed to be really emotional and a big trouble, but it was so overdone that it seemed like a true comedy. You guys need to see that scene. It's this type of overdoing that the animation made fun of, and it made pretty well. And if you also laughed in this scene, leave a like in the video so I know how many of you guys are K-drama lovers. Saja boys, when first appeared in their demon forms, wear traditional Korean clothes that remind a lot the clothes from dynasties like Joseon dynasty. This isn't by chance. This visual has two main meanings that help to enrich the animator's narrative. The first one is that the clothes help to show that they were the ancient demons from centuries ago. Jinu, for example, lived as a human for over 400 years, and his outfit helps to connect him to his origin. Besides that, their demon form is based on the Deocean Saja, as known as the Korean version of the Green Grim Reaper. And that makes total sense. One, we see these hot guys collecting souls for Guima, almost like they were really Reapers, but in the K-pop idol form. And that's it, folks. What do you think about K-pop Demon Hunters? Did you enjoy the animation, or was there anything that you just hated? And who's your bias in Saja voice? Mine is definitely Jinu and Baby. Let me know in the comments and let's debate. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and hasta la vista!